In this question, an oil company wants to lay pipeline from a well out in the water to a point on dry land some distance away, and it needs to figure out the most economical way of doing that. Well, this is kind of a lengthy answer, so I'll try to give you a screenshot of the whole thing before proceeding a little bit further. There you go. And so now we'll go into this in some detail. What we have is a point P out in the water, 7 kilometers from the shore. 18 kilometers down the shore is the part that we're trying to lay the pipe to. And we could lay pipe straight to point A and then underneath solid ground from there, or we could lay the pipe straight from P to the shore this way. But the most economical way is going to be to find a point in between, lay the pipe underwater to that point, and then from that point on lay the pipe underground. Well, we know that the ultimate cost is going to be 50,000 times the length underwater plus 35,000 times the length underground. Well, what is the length underwater? If we let this value be x, then what we have is a right-angled triangle with one side of 7 and one side of x. So the hypotenuse is going to be the square root of x squared plus 7 squared, which is the square root of x squared plus 49. So the cost is 50,000 times x squared plus 49 to the 1/2, plus 35,000 times the length underground. If this is x and the whole thing is 18, then the length underground is 18 minus x. So we get a cost of 50,000 times this expression plus 630,000 minus 35,000x. And the domain is clearly x being somewhere between 0 and 18 inclusive. We know that x is somewhere here, the point that we're going to ultimately go to. So what we're going to do now is set the derivative of this expression equal to 0 and solve for x. So doing that, we have 1/2 times 50,000 is 25,000. Make the exponent negative 1/2 and then take the derivative of what's inside. And the derivative of 35,000x is 35,000, and that is going to equal 0. So adding 35,000 to each side, multiplying here and simplifying a little bit, we get this expression. Multiplying both sides by the square root of x squared plus 49 gives us this value right here. Now we know that all values are positive. X is a positive number, so in order to solve it we can square both sides. The square of 35,000 is this massive number here, and this expression squared is simply x squared plus 49. Squaring 50,000 gives this massive number, and squaring x gives this number. So distributing here and isolating the x, we get that x is approximately equal to 6.86. So what we're going to do now is go back, think about our original diagram. We're going to let x be 0 or x be 18 and figure out the cost either way. 980,000 or 965,000. And then we're going to let x be 6.86, and we see that if we do that, it only costs 879,000 and change. So that's the minimum cost, approximately $879,950.